What's up, YouTube fam? Look, these are gonna be the 3 biggest secrets, the easiest and biggest secrets that really kind of like helped me with, easy A1C control and weight loss and everything. So you know what, let's get right into it. Okay, so here we go. Trick number 1 is going to easily start with foods that you already love that absolutely work well with your blood sugar. Okay, and here's what I mean by that. Okay, so for me personally, I started out vegan. Then after that, I went slow carb, then paleo, then I did keto for like 2.5, close to 3 years, right? Then I went to zero carb, and I was that guy that was literally with the quotes and like memorizing what this guru said versus that guru, and really just kind of nerding out on case studies and all this other stuff. And at the end of the day, to be totally honest, after doing all that stuff, I really just wanted to be myself, and so here's how I did it. Okay, I couldn't help but notice that inside of all these different diets and stuff like that, there were not only going to be foods that I already loved, that I could actually apply that, apply that to, things that I eat every day, okay? And so here's what I mean by that, okay? So if you've ever seen anyone else and you're wondering man, how do they make it look so easy, right? This is one of the easiest ways to do it, okay? So I simply ask myself, what are foods that I already love that work well with my blood sugar, okay? And the real trick, the biggest secret, more than anything, isn't to apply it to trying to eat some diet food. And I'll get into that in a second, okay? I'm gonna actually show you how and why that's not only good, but in the same breath, how it can actually backfire in our face, okay? So start with foods that I already love, and at the same time, start with places that you would normally eat, whether you're dieting or not, okay? So here's what I mean by that, okay? When I first started, I asked myself these questions. At the time, I was really eating a lot of, takeout food, a lot of drive-through burgers, a lot of hole-in-the-wall Mexican place, and a lot of Chinese food, right? Now, a lot of people are like, you're gonna control your blood sugar and lose weight with Chinese food? Yes. Okay, I'll actually show you what I mean, okay? So let's start with the obvious, okay? Protein burgers, okay? Like a cheeseburger, stuff like that, right? Look, I don't know about you, but eating a cheeseburger for me is not a lot of hard work, okay? And really more than anything, when I say that, stick with foods that you already love that work well with your blood sugar, the beautiful part about that is that you can actually just read off the menu, okay? And here's what I mean by that, okay? So let's say we go to Fat Burger, right? One of these big, and it can be a hole-in-the-wall place, whatever, okay? But here's what I mean by that, all right? So what are foods that I already love that happen to work well with my blood sugar? All right, cool. So if I look at a burger, I can't have the bread, can't have the ketchup, right? And excuse me, I just worked out or whatever, but can't have the ketchup because it has sugar in it, right? So what are other foods that I already love? Okay, cool. Give me another patty. Give me another slice of cheese. Give me full fat ranch dressing. Give me blue cheese crumbles. Give me sauteed mushrooms. Give me bacon. Give me guacamole. Give me a deli meat on top of that. Give me roast beef on top of that. Give me pastrami on top of that, right? What is that? 8 or 9? I lost maybe close to 10 or something like that. I got rid of 2, and I got 8 or 9, or spicy mustard, deli mustard, on and on and on and on, right? Blue cheese, actual blue cheese sauce, right? What is that, 11? Anyways, eating all that stuff, by the time I put all that stuff on a burger, not a lot of hard work whatsoever, okay? The hole-in-the-wall Mexican place, okay? I absolutely love Mexican food, okay? And I used to go to this place that had street tacos that were like crack, okay? They should have a 12-step program on them, okay? So I love these homemade tortillas, okay? They're so good, but at the same time I can't have them, okay? So frisbee those, and what can I put in this place that I already love, okay? More cheese, sour cream, guacamole, right? It's dirty keto or whatever, but hey, let's be honest here. More than anything, it really kind of helped me build the foundation. I'm gonna get into that here in a second, okay? That and that other point, okay? So let's get down to the Chinese food, okay? This one is priceless to me, okay? And here's what I mean by that, okay? If you've ever tried tracking your food, especially if you're on keto, okay, feel free to go into any of these food tracking apps, whether it's MyFitnessPal, Chronometer, whatever it is, okay, and go out and search a lot of these Chinese foods, okay, and then actually take a measuring cup. So when they're hey, it's 400 calories, because a lot of it's especially when you go straight chow mein, it's just a bunch of grease and noodles and stuff and the noodles, all that is more oil and fat and lard and flour and all this other stuff, right? They taste phenomenal, but that's not really what they are, right? So anyways, when you start to look at these little half-cup servings, and they're anywhere from 3 to close to 600 calories, depending on who's making them, right? You're wait a minute here. And if you're anything like me, you go to these Chinese food places where they're just trying to stack as much crap as possible in there. By the time you actually measure that out, or not even measure it out, but just look at the app, you're dude, that's anywhere between 700 and 1,500 calories in a single, I wouldn't say serving, because it's enough to feed a Cambodian army, right? Well, anyways, you're dude, yeah, 1,500 calories in that one thing. And so here's essentially how this all happened for me, okay? So I go there, and I go to this Chinese place, and I couldn't just tell the lady, I was staring at the little row, you know what I mean? The row of things that they have, the entrees or whatever. And she's dude, what do you want? Because there's a huge line behind me, right? I'm and she's dude. And I just didn't know what to say, so I just told her the truth. I'm hey, look, I'm a type 2 diabetic, and I can't have all the starch, I can't have the flours, the sugars, and a lot of these fillers and stuff like that. And so she goes, okay, well, what do you want? And I'm well, I don't know. And she's well, what can you have, right? And I'm cool, easy. Fish, chicken, beef, vegetables, stuff like that, okay? Next thing you know, the owner gets involved and starts making me all these one-off dishes, okay? Things that were 100% fresh. They were made just for me. Dude, talk about a secret menu. Next thing you know, like the owner is coming out, okay? And he's like, dude, like, you know, here's this, and all these people are like, yo, what's that? Like, I want to have what he's having, right? And check this out. The best part is for the longest time, this is like one of my biggest diet A1C blood sugar hacks ever, okay? Here's what I mean by that, okay? By the time I had them do that, it was like, you know, I was maybe spending like $1.50, $2, $3 more, okay? But what was I getting? Something like, it was 100% fresh. It was made just for me. It wasn't held together with like this wallpaper paste, right? At the same time, I was cutting anywhere between like 750 to like 1,500 calories. Dude, if you don't already, take a measuring cup, okay? Go home and like, or if you don't have one, like buy one and like, dude, take it. Some of these places, obviously every place is different. Some of them don't put as much as others. Dude, the place that I would go to, they would stack it so high, hard, and heavy, they would actually have to like tape the little things shut just to even keep them closed, okay? Like that's how crazy this place is, okay? Dude, I would drop anywhere from 700 to 1,500 calories in a single serving. Okay, the beautiful part about that is like, okay, so it's like right now as I'm recording this, it's December 1st, okay? And so yeah, it's a winter time, okay? One sentence, okay? Here's how easy this is, one sentence, okay? First, we just simply ask them, hey, are you guys using like starches and stuff like that in your broths and stuff like that? Naturally, all the good places, they don't. And to be totally honest, the really smart places don't, because it's actually cheaper to just use all the bones and the scraps of all the different, you know, vegetables and the chicken bones and just make a broth out of it, right? Just throw it in a pot full of water. That's free, right? Anyways, here's how simple that is. Okay, one sentence. Wonton soup, no wontons, extra protein. Bingo, okay? Bingo, bingo, bingo. And dude, I was dropping all kinds of weight. I wasn't trying all this other stuff. Warm, filling to the belly, bingo. Now, secret and tip number 2, okay? Here's the deal, okay? When we start with foods that we already love, the biggest thing that I always ran into, and maybe you've done the same thing, right? So we're used to eating one way, okay? And we're like, hey, let's try the XYZ diet, right? Whether it be paleo, keto, whatever, okay? High five to all the different diets. They all have something good we can learn from, okay? But in the same breath, if you're anything like me, you're eating this way, okay? And then all of a sudden, the diet is like, yo, we're gonna do a complete 180, right? And then for a while, you're like, yeah, this is awesome, this is awesome, this is awesome. However, our inside, our gut, our brain, our emotional attachment with food, our history with food, and all this other stuff, our natural taste, all that stuff starts to creep up, and they're like, dude, we can only do this for so long. You can only ignore, like, you know, yourself for so long, dude. And for me, that actually caused me to like, not only backslide, but a lot of times it actually caused me to like, just roll down that hill. Not just backslide, but I go tumbling, and sometimes a cheat meal turns into a cheat day, a cheat month, a cheat 9 years or whatever, right? So anyways, here's how and why I say tip number 1 is so powerful, because it leads us to tip number 2, okay? So when we have a big stable of foods that we already love, okay, at the places that we would normally eat, okay? And again, here, let me give you another couple examples, okay? We love going to Italian food, okay? And like, for example, okay, I'll actually put a screenshot right now. You know, endless pasta from Olive Garden. Okay, yeah, endless pasta from Olive Garden. Okay, naturally, just go ahead and have salad. You know, go ahead and put like anything from. You can actually get like, you know, the olive oil or whatever on top of the salad if you want to go that route. However, if you want to do the old, you know, the Alfredo, you can do that on there. The only crappy thing about that is that naturally you're gonna have like fillers and stuff like that, junk carbs. I think there's like 6 grams per serving or whatever. So take it easy on the servings, whatever. But yeah, you can still stuff your face, okay? Throw your favorite protein in there. Look, I'm one of these guys that have a high blood sugar spike with pork. I'll still eat it once in a while. You don't have to be perfect to go really, really far very, very easily, okay? That's trick. That was still number 1, okay? The reason why I say that rolls in the secret number 2 is this, okay? When we have this huge stable of foods that we already love, that we would eat anyway, okay? Like, nobody has to sell me hard on going to a taco place, a burger place, a Chinese place, you know, an Italian place, right? Whether it be the salad, anti-pasta salad with a pesto, and all my favorite, you know, burger topping, I'm sorry, pizza toppings on top, the cheese, the mushrooms, this, you know, the sausage, the pepperoni, right? The pepperoni, the ranch, the blue cheese, the whatever, okay? Super, super simple, okay? When I started to have a big stable of foods, okay, that is what really kind of gave me the foundation, if you will, to go ahead and start testing and playing with other foods that would really help me cleanse my palate. It gave me the ability to now take my time and do so in ways that, like, forcing myself to go this way, okay, and like having the door only hold open for so long and then having it slap back in my face and then making me do everything from like beat up on myself when I would backslide, just demoralize myself. And it really stopped, me from making a lot of progress a lot of different times. It really just made me beat up on myself, okay? And so anyways, if that helps you there, that is gonna be secret number 2. So the secret number 2, again, is to go ahead and when we focus, okay, here's the real secret. Man, if you're anything like me, you've ever tried anything from like, a diet for like 3 days, a week, 5 months, whatever, okay, and it didn't stick, okay, that 5-minute question, secret number 1, okay, if you really want to watch where people are struggling, okay, if you gave me that one question, ever since I was like 9 years old, because I was a token fat kid, part of the fat jokes, all that other stuff, and every diet, like, as much as I did good with it, in the end, I can only eat the same way, the same thing, every single meal, every single day for the rest of my days, for like, for the rest of my life, for so long before I wanted to be myself, okay? If you gave me that one question, compared to all the times that I would like nerd out on case studies and go on Facebook groups and tell people how my diet was the best thing ever and all this other stuff, at the end of the day, if I would have just took myself that 5-minute question, changed everything, okay? Now that I have simple, again, secret number 2, now that I have this really easy, platform to stand on, it allowed me and it gave me the freedom to not only be myself, okay, I can now test and implement all these different things that work really, really well, okay? Super, super simple, okay? Now, secret number 3, how to shortcut all of this crap, okay? At the end of the day, whether we're looking at, case studies, this diet versus that diet, or whatever, for type 2 diabetics specifically, what do they look at? Okay, what do they look at? They typically don't look at like, the documentaries that we looked at. They don't look at, our doctors, I should say, don't look at the documentaries that we look at. They don't look at the case studies we look at. And even if we get them to look at it, right? High five to all the different providers that are open to like and willing to learn and stuff like that. In the same breath, how are we diagnosed? At the end of the day, because everybody's body is different, how it reacts to different drugs, how different people's tolerances to certain foods, like are people different allergic to certain foods or whatever, what do our doctors look at that they use to not only diagnose us, but to tell us how well we're actually controlling our blood sugar? Our A1C, right? So here we go. Secret number 3, it makes everything super, super simple, okay? 3-step A1C shortcut, okay, here we go. Here's what I ate, here's what happened, here's what I do next. Here's what I ate, here's what happened, here's what I do next. Simply tip ourselves before our first bite, 1 hour after, and another hour after that, okay? That little 3-point turn, okay? Those 3 numbers, okay? Here's what I ate, here's what happened, here's what I do next, okay? Not only can you apply it to any diet, you'll not only be like probably shocked and amazed just to see that you might be doing a lot of work that you don't necessarily need to do. Okay, and if you want more, videos on that, make sure that you, that you like, subscribe. Let me know what your challenges are, because if I've had them, I'll literally give you I'll literally show you how I was able to get through them. Okay. Anyways, here's what I mean by that. Okay, there's really only 3 things to do by that. Okay, once we understand those 3 numbers. Okay, here we go. Number 1 is either to eliminate. Okay, so for example, if I put a lollipop in my mouth and the sugar from the lollipop causes my blood sugar to spike, eliminate. Okay, chuck it. Okay, done. Not my favorite thing to do, but sometimes those are just the cards that we're dealt. Okay, secret number 1. Step number 1. Step number 2 would then be to either play defense or to swap. Okay, and here's what I mean by that. Okay, so for example, we love this burger place, chili cheese fries, all this other stuff. I can't have chili cheese fries, so they also have pastrami fries. Okay, and like what do? I basically just have a pastrami cheeseburger. Okay, no bun, no ketchup. Okay, and what will I do? Just like we learned on secret number 1, I will double the cheese if I'm really hungry, double the patty, double the pastrami, okay? By the time that thing is like this huge mound, okay? By the time it's a huge mound, I can go ahead and lather it down with like, mustard, pickles, all this other stuff, and it ain't gonna flinch my blood sugar for a dang thing, right? And I'm gonna stuff my face and I'm gonna eat like I'm at the county fair, okay? I'm gonna stuff my face, have a ball, and whatever, okay? The beautiful thing about that is that by the time I'm pretty much full anyway, okay? Sure, if I did slip, normally I really don't anymore, but now if I did slip and have like a French fry or 2, because I'm like 90, 95, 99, 99.99999% full, okay, having a fry or 2 is nothing like having the entire basket, okay? That's playing defense, okay? Super, super simple. Anybody could do that, okay? Or swap it, okay? And here's what I mean by that, okay? So let's say we go to a certain place, and let's say, perfect example, okay, we love this barbecue place, Lucille's if you're in Southern California, okay, and they have this one entree where they have a salad, and you put your favorite barbecue meat on top of it, okay, and let's say I have the pulled pork, and for whatever reason, whether it's the mustard sauce, the sweet sauce, the smoky sauce, no sauce, for whatever reason, I'm eating this pork and it spikes my blood sugar. I'm actually one of those type 2 diabetics that have high blood sugar spikes with pork, okay, so let's say I eat it, and I'm like, man, no matter what I do, it keeps spiking my blood sugar. No worries, swap, okay, cool. Give me the smoked chicken, give me the burnt ends, give me the brisket, right? Like nobody has to sell me hard on eating barbecue either, right? Super, super simple, swap, done, okay? The third thing there is to also break it down. Perfect example, let's go ahead and go back to the burger example, okay? Here we go. Break it down. So I have a bun, and if I look at all the ingredients of a certain food, let's break it down, right? So on a burger, I have a bun and ketchup that I can't have, okay? So essentially all I'm doing is I'm breaking down the ingredients of that particular dish, identifying what spikes my blood sugar and eliminating them, okay? And then I can either just enjoy it as is or double down on the other ingredients that work well with my blood sugar. And that's it. I absolutely hope that serves you well. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next one.